Sweet. Well, I'm super excited to chat with you, and you have a lot of new stuff going on, so it's like extra exciting. So let's just start it at the beginning. What was your photography business like when you first started photography?
I wouldn't really consider it a business. Like it was just kind of happening, barely. I couldn't get clients at all. If anything, it was just like friends, and sometimes they would talk their friends into it. I wasn't really getting paid anything. Like anytime, basically, I always ended up putting more into it than I was getting out of it, like by a lot. So just really kind of going in debt. And I had a full-time job. It was kind of just something I was doing because I felt passionate about it, but I wasn't able to live or even, buy gas with it. Like just didn't benefit me financially at all.
So were you doing like all types of shoots, or did you start out doing boudoir?
I started out doing everything. And then about 2 years ago, when I realized I had a space that I could use for boudoir, I started really trying to focus on that, but it just, like I said, I couldn't really get anybody in. And so I was still doing like a little bit of everything. And then I found you, and I've always been the most passionate about boudoir. So found you and realized like, we can do this thing. So here I am.
I love it. And Cassie's business is called Everlasting Truth Boudoir, which I love the name, and her logo is like the coolest thing ever. It's like a drawing of her. Who did your significant other draw that for you?
No, so his boss at the tattoo shop, the guy that made his logo is like a good friend to him. So I like literally sent him one of my boudoir photos, which was like the funniest thing ever. But I was like, can you draw this?
And by the way, she means a boudoir photo of her doing a boudoir shoot, not like of a client. So
yeah,
that's awesome. And yeah, you should definitely check out her logo.
Draw it up for me. So
that's awesome. And she lives in Piqua, Ohio. I think I'm saying that right. That's awesome. And it's Bodner, not Bodnar. Or wait, I'm still saying it wrong.
Like Boudie, Bodner.
Bodner, not Bodnar. Bodnar sounds so Midwest. I think my accent just totally went for it. But then again, you live in Ohio, so. Awesome, cool. So, okay, when you first started out your photography business, you were shooting, sounds like everything, and you said that it was just $75. And were you doing like a shoot and burn kind of a thing?
Yeah.
And how many hours were you spending on like acquiring the customer, shooting the customer, editing the photos, delivering the CD, all that stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really keep track of it, I guess. But I do remember like editing being like one of the worst things ever, because I was just like, I have nothing to show for this. I have a million pictures to go through, and I couldn't bring myself to not give them all the ones that I liked, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And so like giving them 40 pictures and just like, it was just so tiring because I knew I didn't get anything out of it.
And like emotionally, yeah, like tell us more. Like, so you felt tired. Like, did you ever feel like quitting, or were you just sort of like?
Oh, yeah. Like I gave up a few times, like just let my camera collect dust and was like, I'll just take pictures of my family and like pictures of my kid, and that'll be it. Because I honestly had just told myself like, this is never going to be something that you can do for a living. You're always going to do this, when you get a little boost of motivation, and then you're going to go out, do this shoot, and then you're going to be tired of it again, because it's not like, it's like being so close to a dream, because yeah, you're out shooting, but it's never going to like get you where you want it to get you. And like, I guess that was my mindset. Like now I know it can, but yeah, it was really sad, honestly, because I put so much work into it. I went to school, and I was finishing school, and I was just like, all this is for nothing. I just wasted all my time, but I'm so close. Might as well get it finished, and then I'll throw my degree up on a shelf and let it collect dust too. Because, I mean, it was just seriously one of those things I just had given up on.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, so it sounds like, okay, you put your camera away like a couple times. And then how did you hear of Boudoir Certified and what made you like consider it?
I think this is one of the funniest like things ever, because like a lot of the people that I feel like have joined Certified, I kind of like followed you for a little bit. I just like jumped. I was just like, whoop, I'm in there. I literally randomly found you on like, I think you were just like a sponsored thing or like boosted post or something, I guess now that I know. Just literally scrolling through Facebook at work one day, and I saw it and I was like, sure, like I'm going to be listening to music anyway. I'm going to do this. And I had never heard of you before. And literally that day I signed up, and like, I was like, oh, this sounds great. Like I hate my job and I'm here. So let's do this.
And
like,
you know what? That's literally
into this.
That's literally why you're one of the top students, is because you have the mindset to just go for it. Because like the one thing I've noticed between successful and unsuccessful people in general is that successful people, they make quick decisions and they act upon things to get results faster. And unsuccessful people, they're like, oh, I'll mull it over for, you know, days, weeks, years. And nobody ever got results mulling things over. That is, I never had heard that story before, but like, I mean, you are like a pretty decisive business owner, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so.
That's awesome. I mean, you're like, I found a new cool studio, I'm doing that. Like, you're just like, I'm in.
I've been like that my whole life. Like it's so funny. I think it might be part of me being like a millennial, like because I'm so young and whatnot. Like I've kind of been told my whole life, like I'm great, I can do whatever I want. Like my mom raised me that way. And so I heard something on Facebook. I was watching a video. They're like, oh, this is such a downfall. And I disagreed with it because I was like, because I was raised with that mindset, like I've never believed that I couldn't do something. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like I had my moments. But yeah, when I just like heard that, I was like, I can do this 100%. Why can't I? This is happening. And that's why I jumped in. And I've kind of just like, ever since I started, I've just continued to have that mindset. I've had like clients ask me like, how did you know to do this? How did you know to go full time? I was like, I just never believed that I couldn't. Like I heard what you had to say and I believed it. And I was like, I'm not going to take no for an answer. This is going to happen one way or another. I get that it's a mountain. I get it's going to be hard, but it's going to happen. Like I'm tired of thinking, you know, oh, this is a hard like path, whatever. Like, cause photography, I just always assumed like it's so competitive, but like at this point, like you literally could not stop me if you tried. I'm not going to stop.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And you know, what's funny is I was raised the same way that you were raised. My mom read a lot of personal development books, and she constantly, like, I'm not even kidding you, if I got a C in school, they would hang that shit on the fridge. Like, they were like, go Molly, you're amazing, you can do anything. And if you're listening to this and you didn't have that upbringing, don't think of it as a setback, because you can start now with your mindset. You don't have to be raised with that way. Like, you can change it now. All you have to do, and this sounds really really woo-woo, and I would have thought, literally used to think this was all nonsense, but literally every morning, just like always think positive thoughts and tell yourself, like, I can do, like, it's not even a question. It's like, I can do this. And my husband and I, we actually write Post-it notes every morning of like positive things, like affirmations, like, you know, we will accomplish this thing, or we will do this, or I will look at things with the glass half full, you know, and we put them on our computers. So even if you weren't raised that way, just start thinking about that now.
I tell that to my clients all the time.
That's awesome.
I literally just had a talk. I tell people, this is your world. Like, make it what you want it to be. And especially like with the girls, like obviously they're having issues. I had a woman break down on me during her testimonial, and she was like, I've wasted so much time like being mean to myself about my body. I was like, okay, well, now's your chance. Like, it's your world from here on out. You get to make the decision every morning to wake up and say, I'm going to be nice to myself. Like, I'm going to be happy with what I have here. You know, I'm going to keep making steps forward. And that's kind of just how I like go about my life. So yeah, I mean, literally anybody who's like, oh, well, I was raised this way, or this happened to me at one time, like, okay, well, today's today, and we're grown-ups, and you get to make your decision today. What's it going to be?
I love it. Oh my gosh. When you were telling me about your client, I was like tearing up because
it was so
it's
sad.
Crazy the amount of impact that we have as boudoir photographers on other people's lives, and like what we're doing, it really does make a huge difference. And if you haven't been shooting boudoir a lot yet, you might not know that. But I mean, after doing boudoir, even just my first year in, it's like I would see my clients obviously come in as somebody and leave as somebody totally different. And even a year, 2 years, 3 years later, they've kept in contact with me, and you know, a lot of them have done multiple shoots, but whether they did or they didn't, they tell me like, wow, after my shoot, you know, it's not even like they did anything really that different, except for really just looked at themselves in a different way and were more positive about it. And I've literally had my clients tell me like, you know, I lost weight, and it's because like they had the confidence to actually go and, you know, work out every morning or whatever it is that they wanted to do. And it's just crazy. Like you think, wow, a photo shoot can't have that big of an impact on people, and it really does. So that's amazing. And what made you want to niche into just boudoir?
I've always kind of liked fine art and, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, I originally like went into school thinking like, oh, I want to do fashion photography. And then, you know, I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and I was like, no way I'm going to be able to do that. That's like high speed lifestyle. You know, like I just had this like imagination, like I wanted to be like in the movies, you know, like that kind of person. And like, then I just kind of like brought it back. I was like, okay, fine art, really love this. And then like after being pregnant with my daughter and like having all the issues with like body image and stuff through that, because like I'm 23, you know that. So I had my daughter when I was 19, and like I was pregnant when I was 18, and like that's a hard thing. Like I just came out of high school, and so a lot of body changes, and I just didn't really like treat myself very well because of that. And so like I kind of looked at my daughter and I was like, whoa, dude, like you got to change your own mindset, and like you have to create a world for your daughter where like she doesn't have to deal with this stuff. And so like seriously, it has a lot to do with like what I grew up with in terms of like body image and like all those self-confidence issues that I had, and then me just deciding like I'm gonna own this shit, and I look great, and my daughter is 100% gonna grow up like this. And I tell my group all the time, like, y'all better just come in here and fit me for my straitjacket, because I am crazy and I am changing the world. I am changing the world. I'm doing it with or without you guys. You can hop on this train or you can wave while it goes by, because like we're changing the world. It's gonna happen. My kid is 100% gonna grow up in a world where like this trash of like, oh, she looks like this, she looks like that, or especially people being mean to themselves. Like I can't stand somebody, you know, in the middle of a shoot. I had a girl, I showed her picture. It was a gorgeous photo, and she was like, I'm fat. And I was like, all right, I'm not shooting anymore. She was like, what? I was like, I'm not going to take any more pictures of you until you promise me that you're done bullying yourself. I was like, you're gonna make me cry in about 5 seconds, because it hurts my feelings. Like for you to be mean to yourself, because I used to do that to myself. And like, so really it's just, you know, how I like felt about myself, and just like that transition for me in my life, and wanting that for other people, and also wanting to like create this better world for my kids to grow up in.
I love it. And that's
passion right there.
Yeah, passion. That's also like a huge part of the Boudoir Certified program, is teaching you about having a movement. Like your business is not just a photography business. You're not just taking portraits. Like you have something that you are striving to change in the world, just like Cassie said, and you're doing that through the vehicle of your business. And you really do have the power to actually make a difference in the world. And I know that you had mentioned earlier, like classes and I think like college, like, did you go to school for photography? And do you think that people have to go to college for photography?
Probably don't. No, I mean, I got my bachelor's in fine art photography, and like, because my school was like pretty small, like I did get some one-on-one stuff that maybe was helpful, but I don't feel as though like you need to go to college to learn those things. Like, I think 100%, like I could have learned all of those things elsewhere for a lot less money, a lot less time. Like, sure, I wouldn't have my degree, but I think people don't really care about that. Like, I have it hanging on my wall, but nobody ever asked me about it. Nobody really cares. Like, I'm proud of it, but nobody like cares about it. And like, I genuinely feel like all of like the business aspects of everything, like they didn't teach me how to run a business. And my whole time through school, I'm like, okay, you know, I need to know how to run a business. I would like to do this on my own. But I also like, it just, they didn't really teach me anything in terms of like how to go about it. They taught me fundamentals. So I knew how to use my camera. So I knew how to use lighting. They didn't even really teach me posing, anything like that. Like that's stuff that I picked up on, and I got to use models for that. But I mean, even at that, those were models that I brought in. You know, it's just real like assignment based stuff that you like learn basic guidelines, but then you have to like kind of figure it out yourself on how to use that. So, I mean, sure, it was helpful for me. Like I chose that path, but I also now like have to pay somebody $50,000, you know, and I could have probably learned it a lot cheaper. Even just like shadowing somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to school for photography too, and they didn't teach me anything about business. I actually ended up dropping out because I was like, okay, I'm already 60 grand in debt, and I'm 3 or 4 years into school, and I still have no idea where to even begin with my photography business. So yeah, I dropped out and I learned it all. You know, I did trial and error though over like 6 freaking years. And that's exactly why I started Boudoir Certified, is because I'm like, man, you know, I would much rather have been able to take a program for, you know, a tenth of the cost of, you know, college, where it actually teaches me all the things I actually need to know about running a profitable boudoir photography business. So, which leads me to my next question. Like, what reservations did you have before you joined Boudoir Certified, and why did you decide to enroll?
Well, I don't really think I ever like thought about that stuff until like after. Like, I didn't get the like, well, what if stuff until after, when I was like, oh, like I just paid for this. Like, what if it doesn't work? Because I was so sold on it that I was like, I have gone and spent this amount of money on things when I didn't have it, like for fun. So I literally, like, my mom was ready to break my neck. I got off work, told her, I was like, oh, so I just went and paid for this thing. And look at it. It's so cool. I really think it's going to work. And she's like, what if it doesn't? I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Like, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. If it doesn't work, I have spent money on things that I didn't need before. And I was like already just looking through, like I was just reviewing like model call. I was like, just looking at this, I was like, I already feel like I've gained something. So it was already worth it. And I hadn't even like implemented anything. I hadn't even actually like sat down and focused on anything. And I was so sold on it.
What does your mom think now?
She still tries to like, my mom is just like a scaredy cat.
But doesn't she still like success and she's so happy for you?
Yeah, like they're all super proud of me, but like my mom, just like in the back of her head, every once in a while she'll be like, you know, just keep in mind, you know, it might slow down, or it might do this, or it might do that. I'm like, get out of here. I was like, you also didn't want me to join. Like, you were like, get a refund right now, and I was like, no, it's not gonna happen. I was like, Mom, let me.
Have you been in the program? Yeah, I'm glad that you don't have your mom's mindset, because that's not the mindset to have. And how long have you been in the program?
Since July, so what's that, like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
And how long did it take you to pay back your investment?
I mean, I think I could have paid it off within the first month easily, but I think I like kind of spread it out into like 2 months. But I literally made I think six grand or something the first like month. And that was when I was like being a little scaredy cat saleswoman. So I was like, I'll give you all this free stuff in this, and how about this and this? And then I was like, what? Now I'm mad.
So
Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
you were struggling with sales and you still made how much your first month?
$6,000.
That's amazing. That's so awesome. And
I was so nervous. I was like, I just got a bunch of stuff finished off, and I was looking through my order forms, and I'm like looking at my little notes, like 5 free digital images. I was like, I need to go back and smack her. Like, why did you do that? Why would you do that? And like,
you're like, dang you, past Cassie.
I honestly was never going to tell you that.
Well, the secret's out now.
But yeah, no, I was scared. But you know what? The second month, I don't remember if it was the second month or the third month that I made like the $22,000 sales for the month. And that was the month I didn't give anything away for free. Not a single thing. It was just me being like, look, you are buying this, and like, you don't get anything extra. It just is what it is. And they were like, oh yeah, no, that's great. I'll take that. I'll add images to get up to the next collection, even though I'm closer to this one, but you know, that's the better deal. Like, just, I didn't know I could be a saleswoman, but I'm a hell of a saleswoman.
Yeah, you are. Your second or so, okay, hang on. That's we gotta back up because that's some pretty good numbers. So your second or third month, so let's just say third month even, you grossed 20.
Yes. Okay, so my first month's sales, like sales total, I think was like around $6,000. And then my second month's sale was around $11,000. And then my third month's sale was $22,000.
Wow.
So I just like bumped it up each month. I don't know. I haven't looked at it for a while, but I remember like writing everything down and like being so excited about it. So I do specifically remember those first 3 months.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I'm still doing great now, obviously. Like, I don't know what my sales were for the last month. I haven't looked at it and written it all down, but I've been extremely busy with moving studios.
Awesome. Well, you can always update us in the group, and we'll talk about this at the end, but I mean, Cassie actually just hired her first like real like assistant, like a, well, actually, I don't know if she's a contractor or employee, but like a real hire in her business, which is super exciting. But before we talk about the assistant, which I'm super excited to talk about, what was like one of your favorite, if you could pick just one, like what's kind of like your favorite part or technique or something about Boudoir Certified?
Favorite. I don't know. I don't even know how to single anything out. Like, each thing in it is so helpful, and it's so like everything is like for a certain reason, so I can't really decide. I mean, obviously model call was like a huge mind blower for me. I never expected that to be like the way, like I didn't expect that to be like a successful way to do something. But I guess I also didn't realize like that people don't come in because like they do or don't want something. They just don't know yet. Like everyone wants it. They're just scared out of their minds that they're not going to look good, you know, that they're not going to love their pictures. So that was really just like eye-opening for me. Because really like that's exactly what it is. And like getting started and like getting your name out. I was running through Facebook today and I saw a picture of lingerie. So I was like, oh, what's this? And it was a girl saying like, oh, I want to do something special for my boyfriend. And like I decided to go through the comments and like just people after people, hey, go check out Everlasting Truth Boudoir, you know, just not, you know, just so many people. And it's just like through the group, like the group was helpful. Like I would have never known to start a private group. I always just thought, oh, business page, this is how you do it. You know, I've added like 9 million random people to my personal Facebook. And I was always like, this is my Facebook. I'm going to keep it just my Facebook. But there's so many people that I get to reach out to that otherwise wouldn't even know I exist or that my company exists. So like there isn't one favorite, like they all need to exist together and they're all like so important.
That's literally the exact thing that Carrie said when I was just chatting with her before you, is she was like, they all have to exist together. And I mean, tell us though, like your Facebook group, I mean, do you like the strategies about the Facebook group? Because I mean, how big is your group now?
I think it's like 10.6K followers. Obviously like group grow, I would have never known anything about that. Like I'm clueless. I knew nothing. And then I met you and now I'm like super smart.
Awesome. You've always been super smart, girl. It's funny, like everyone has it in them. You know, everyone just needs a roadmap. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't, I mean, you can figure it out on your own if you want to sacrifice time and money. But if you don't want to sacrifice, you know, like I said, it literally took me, I'm not even exaggerating, like 6 years of suffering, of testing what works and what doesn't work. And I'm telling you, you do not want to do it that way. Like if you can just follow, you know, a roadmap, it's way easier. Like, I mean, Cassie, like literally, I think you said you joined in July or something, and like your first month, $6,000. I mean, I would have freaking killed to have that. So what is your business like now? I mean, I guess you've kind of already told us about it, but I mean, I think you have like a newer studio, and you just put like a really cool clawfoot tub in your studio, which is really cool.
Yeah, I got a bunch of space and now I'm like, dang, I need more space because I'm really bad at like, oh, we have more space. Let's get more stuff. So I got a fireplace and a clawfoot tub and I'm like, this hallway's too small. Like I need more space. But I'm just trying to hold myself back. I'm like, we just got here. I'm not moving again. But anyway, yeah, so like when I very first started doing boudoir like 2 years ago, way before certified, when I was like not getting anywhere, I started in my attic in my house that I just like remodeled, and like it was really nice. I had, you know, maybe 10 people a year, and everybody loved it. Then I started certified just like a month after I got this like little teeny tiny studio, and it mostly like I got it as like a storage place for everything. I was like, this is never gonna get used, no way, like how am I gonna pay for this? But I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And it was just teeny tiny like hallway that I just was using, and then I started certified. I was like, all right, clean this out, we got to make it a real life studio. I started making money. And then we found out like we had to move just like a few months into being there, and I'm like, great, like we gotta move. We just got settled in. Like I'm still behind a little bit. I'm just trying to get caught up because it was just me doing everything. We just moved to the new studio, and it's got like 2 separate rooms. We have an apartment. We have our own hair and makeup room, our own bathroom. Like we have like a kitchen, and like I have my own office, and it's super great. Yeah, I don't know. It's just super amazing. Because I would have never like probably committed to a studio like that beforehand, because like there would have been no like knowing whether or not I was going to be able to pay for it. Now, like I would have been fine getting a studio that cost me a few $100s more. I just ended up getting like a good deal because I don't know why, I just got lucky. But yeah, then I've got I actually ended up getting like a hair and makeup artist. Before I was just like fluctuating between like a team of like 7 hair and makeup artists that were like kind of doing it on the side, and now I have like a dedicated makeup artist, a dedicated like hairstylist that they're like, I call them like head of hair, head of makeup, and like I have a girl who kind of like takes care of them and makes sure that they're doing what they need to do. And then I just hired my assistant. And she, like I told you kind of when we first started, like she quit her job to come work for us, and like that's how much she cares about like what we're doing. And even though she's doing like the behind the scenes stuff, like she's just so excited to be a part of it, because she knows like what she's doing is the little stuff, but it's the stuff that, you know, ultimately takes up time that I need to invest into the business and into our clients. And just so many things have changed. Like, I've always like tried my best to be like super professional. I guess I just have like an idea that like, this is the way it should look when you walk in. This is how you should be greeted. These are the kind of things that you should have access to. And it was just so hard at first to have all of those things when it was just me. And now like having this team of like really like reliable people, and they're reliable because like I can guarantee them this time and like this money, and obviously they care about what I'm doing. It's just so cool to be able to like know that like I can pay people to like do jobs that I need done and like they're going to be dedicated to doing those jobs so that I can focus on what I need to focus on. And everything's running like really smoothly, even down to like I just used to hand people their books. And it was like such a simple thing, like, okay, just buy a bag, put some tissue paper in it so it looks prettier. But it was like those few more seconds, like I'm running around already trying to get things done. And now it's like people get their stuff in pretty bags, like with thank you cards that are handwritten. And like that means a lot to me because I try to make sure that everything is so personal. And now I can do that because I have like this group of people, and it's all because like I'm actually successful, and it's literally 100%. Like obviously I'm implementing the skills and I'm doing what I need to do, but it's the knowledge that I gained through the program that I would have like, maybe I could have gotten it eventually, but I don't honestly see how it would have happened so smoothly and like so quickly without the program. Mm-hmm. Like it was instant.
I'm so proud of you. Like seriously, I mean, like I know everyone's listening and like, oh wow, she has a studio and she has a team and she has all this stuff, but like she did not have all that stuff when she first started, guys. Like you can really put your foot on the gas as fast as you want to go. Like, I mean, really, I'm not trying to downplay, like you are a super talented person, Cassie, but like really what you did here is like you made a commitment to join and do the work, and you put the pedal down real fast and you just went. And I mean, it's only been like 3-4 months and you already have all these new changes and you have an assistant. And I mean, it's just so amazing. I'm so proud of you. And tell everyone how old you are. I don't remember if we said that in the beginning, but.
Yeah, I said it. I think it's funny that like we focus on that so much, but I get it. I get the idea around it because it is like, it's kind of amazing. I know my clients like hearing it, that I'm like, one of only like a few certified professional boudoir photographers in Ohio. And I'm like the youngest one of those 3. And people are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, girl, that's me. And I'm taking pictures of you. So welcome to the club. Come over. Yeah, I'm 23 and I have a 2-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old daughter. Like I'm a mom. I got a busy life as it is. And now I'm a businesswoman and I'm a certified professional boudoir photographer. I love my job and I love my life.
Oh my gosh, I love you. You're amazing. The reason I just want to explain to everyone why I'm focusing on your age is because I started my photography business when I was like unofficially 17, officially started when I was 19. And I had it in my mind that I couldn't do the things that other people could do because I was young. And I always felt, and I will be honest, like some people do actually judge because you're young, but the majority of the ones that are the right client for you, they will see that as, like you said, like a great thing. But I just really think it's so cool that like if anyone's watching this and they're 23 or younger or whatever, like you can do this. And I just wish that my 19-year-old self would have been able to like watch this and know that that was all in my own head, and so I just think it's amazing. So yeah, so I think we pretty much covered everything. So I guess if there's anyone listening to this that's like on the fence about, joining us in the program, I guess, like, what would you say to them if they're considering it?
I mean, obviously do it, like 100%. I do not see how it could do anything but benefit, someone who especially is like, okay, I want to do boudoir. Like, this is my passion. Like, okay, you've got the passion, great. Bring your passion. I'll give you knowledge. Like, that's literally what you do for us. Like, bring your passion. I'll show you the way, and, you know, nothing but success from there. Like, yes, there are ups and downs. Yes, you're going to be terrified. Absolutely terrified, because it's new and, like, it's on the internet, and, you know, like, it's scary. It's super scary. But so is Boudoir, and we get our clients to come in, you know, even though they're scared, and they're more than thankful that they actually showed up and they didn't run away. They went, you know, like they wanted to. They didn't just say, screw this, I'm locking the doors. She better not come out here and try and greet me because I'm driving away. Like, seriously, the exact same concept. And I think it's really important for us to be able to get over that hump and join certified, because it's the same hump that, like, our clients have to get over in order to come into our studios. It's so crazy how it all, like, you know, is connected, and, like, the same feelings that we feel with this is the same feelings that they feel. And I think it's super important. It's obviously super useful. I would have never expected this for myself. Of course, I could have always, like, dreamed about it, but, like, being that this is my life, like, I seriously some days still wake up and, like, pinch myself. I'm like, did I really wake up, or did I just wake up in, like, dreamland? Because this can't be my life, like, but it is, and it's awesome. And, like, it's only the beginning of month 5 for me. Like, it was awesome the first month, and then it was even more awesome the second and the third, and, like, just constant. Put everything that you have into it, do it, because that's how you're 100% going to get the most out of it. Like, I'm an all-in kind of person, so, like, I quit my job. I wasn't playing any games. I was like, this is happening. But I feel like when you take that step, as scary as it is, like, you get the most out of it because you're fully dedicated. You're not giving yourself any option but to succeed that way. So
that's awesome.
I could preach a little bit. I'm a talker.
I know. I love it. I love it. I'm sure everyone listening is, like, super thankful for just, like, everything you've shared and, you know, keeping it real. And I have to say, when you're talking about waking up and, like, pinching yourself or whatever, I imagine you, like, woke up super flawless in your clawfoot tub and you're like, I get to take awesome photos today.
No, the clawfoot tub is at the studio. I woke up, like, with a headache, and I'm like,
with your kids jumping all over.
Like, I always try to, like, sneak in work while I'm at home. I'm supposed to, like, not work at home, but I'm always like, oh, like, you to the bathroom, let me work a little bit. Like, I love my
movie, kids.
Yeah, I'm always trying to sneak in more work.
Well, it's because you're super passionate. And for anyone who's watching this, how can people, like, reach out to you? Like, is it okay if they reach out to you, and how can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook, I always get anything on Facebook. I'm on Facebook all the time with my group and stuff. So, like, personal Facebook, or obviously, I have a Everlasting Truth Boudoir business page. But I don't really, like, tend to it. The majority of everything that I do, even if you're just wanting to, like, kind of see, you know, how my group goes, it's empowered women, empowering women on Facebook. You'll see my cool little logo with my Boudoir photo.
It's really cute. My first logo ever was a hand-drawn logo, and so I think that's part of the reason why I also love it, is because it kind of reminds me of that. It's super cool. But yours is way cooler. But well, awesome, cool. So yeah, everyone, you know, if you have questions, you know, about the program, you can reach out and ask Cassie. You know, she's a real person. She's not a robot. She's a real person who lives in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me and everyone watching today. And yeah, do you have anything else kick-ass for the rest of your day?
Today is my assistant's first day, so I'm, like, counting down the seconds. We're all so excited for her to be there today. Like, we went out and got her like a few little presents. Do you have, like, a couple seconds so I can tell you about me telling her she was hired? It was the most nerve-wracking thing. It was like telling somebody you love them for the first time. I was so scared.
That's actually really accurate. That's a really good way to explain it.
So like the woman who's like acting as my assistant up to this point, she's a friend of mine. She's just kind of been helping with me with everything. We're actually friends because she's head of makeup and everything. So I didn't actually even know her previously, but she's just really become close to me. So we get this idea and we go out like shopping. After her first interview, I was already sold, and I was like, dude, I don't even know her, but she's perfect for this job. And I was like, can you come in and do like a second in-person interview, check out the studio? And she's like, yeah. Well, turns out like she's in her car like shaking with like anxiety, afraid that we like changed our mind and like she's gonna like come in, we're gonna talk and be like, okay, well, we'll be in touch, like you're totally not hired, you know, whatever. And I'm also like, I was anxious the whole day because I was like, what if she doesn't want to work for us anymore? Like we're just both like crying and then like trying to like pat our tears, and then like we meet face to face, and like my voice was like shaky. It literally was like telling someone that I was in love with them. But we went and we bought her like a little coffee cup that said like, whatever you do, do it well, or something like that, and like a book and a cute little planner, and then our little girl power pens that we wear.
Oh, cute. I love that. That's so cute.
And so we had it on the desk and then wrote like a sign like, welcome, Carrie. And we didn't put it on the desk at first because she had to walk through. And then I took her out into like the main shooting room. We closed the door, and my like acting assistant, she was like, give me like eyes like, oh yeah, she's totally like, are we doing this? And like we're trying to like do like a signal, but it wasn't really working out. And then it hit me. I was like, wait, how do I like tell her that she's hired? Do I just like, okay, I didn't.
That's amazing.
Like, think about like what like sentence I was supposed to say. So I just kept bouncing around it because I was like nervous. I didn't want to screw it up.
You're
like I
do you want to like work for me or?
I didn't know what to say. I was like, why didn't I think of this? And I was like, so like it took me like 15 extra minutes to just figure out in my head while we're talking. Like I didn't want her to know that I was trying to figure it out. So I'm just talking about other stuff while I'm still trying to work this out in my head. And finally I was just like, okay, so, you know, when would be a good time, whatever. So we get through that and we walk back to the office. I open the door and she sees all the presents, and then we all just start crying. We're all just crying.
Oh, that's amazing.
All day to do that. And she thought like, this isn't going to work out. So we're all just like group hugging and crying. And then all weekend, the three of us have been like trying not to text each other because we're like all super pumped for work today because it's the first day with all three of us like working together, but we're just like trying not to be clingy. It's just so fun. It's exciting to me that like I found someone that I didn't even know existed like that, that's passionate like I am about what I do and is like super down to do all the grit work so that our business can keep moving, and like we're all super pumped to be at work on Monday.
That's amazing. So. And now you get to not only empower your boudoir clients, but you get to empower, you know, other people to work for you with jobs that they really love. And so it's like the more you grow your business, the more, you know, you're doing. It's just so, yeah, that's awesome. I'm super proud of you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yay. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I mean, I know we're going to chat again really soon. I was like, long time no see. And not only are you going to Boudoir Camp Live, but you're speaking at Boudoir Camp Live. So that's pretty exciting. Are you nervous or excited?
So I'm like a naturally anxious person. So I'm like 80% sure I might cry. But it'll kind of be like, I'm going to get up there, try to like talk, and then I'll be like, give me a second. I just have to cry for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. And then I'm just going to like cry in front of you guys for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be back and I'll have a lot of really awesome things to say. But I've been reading a lot of books lately, just for like my own self and just for like my group, because a lot of what I do is like motivational stuff, inspirational stuff. for those people that like aren't coming in for shoots, people who just need like general daily uplifting and empowerment. So I think a lot of the stuff that I've been reading through that, like I'm super excited to share with you guys, because I know what I told you I wanted to talk about was just kind of like authenticity and like why I feel like I am, obviously, besides all of the tools that you've given me, why I feel like I'm so successful and like people want to come to me over other people is that just like rawness that I have and just like the authenticity and like how vulnerable I allow myself to be. And it is comforting to them because like they're going to be vulnerable and like I'm just as vulnerable and I'm so open about it. So
I totally agree with you.
And I'm 100% going to cry. So it's fine.
I actually told Aaron, I was like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of tears at Boudie Camp Live this year because like I'm already getting like emotionally excited for the event and it's like 5 months away or whatever. So that's amazing. Well, I'm super excited to see you and everyone there. It's going to be super fun and we can all cry together and be awkward together and have a great time.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm going to let you get back to, changing the world. And we'll talk really, really soon and I'll see you in the group. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing everything with us today.
Yeah, anytime.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.